We'll see. Yeah, we got a couple peoples in there right now. They were afraid of my jabroni threat. You live? We're live. Where we should be live. What's going on, D-Bags? Hope you guys are doing well. We're back here again with another episode, the 198th episode of the dtalks podcast. I'm your host, Darren Rita. Feel free to connect with me at any of the links down below. And if you're new here and you enjoy music, podcasts, comedy, or hooping videos, do consider subscribing because we've got a whole lot of that going on around here. And when you do subscribe, leave a like, hang out with us here in the live chat like you're going to do tonight. Helps us share conversations and laughs like the ones we're having tonight with more people. So do consider doing that. It helps out a lot. And I know I've mentioned it a couple times the past couple weeks, but I've been having friends or family members or just people that support the show say that they miss the lives sometimes. So make sure you got notifications on if you want to be here to tap in for the lives. But yeah, other than that, man, I've got to talk to you guys a little bit about car insurance before we can get into today's episode. We got a lot to get into. But like I said, got to talk to you a little bit about car insurance. These days, it feels like prices just keep going up. It feels like every day we're talking about how expensive things are or how expensive things are going to be. Even I know sometimes it's gas, sometimes it's, if you're me, Legos. It could be a slew of different things, but everything's just becoming more and more expensive. We're not getting paid anymore, so why are you wasting money overpaying on car insurance? Let your hometown agency, Kenosha Auto Insurance, which has specialized for years and years in simple, hassle-free car insurance using the latest in touch-free technology, help you and your family get the best rates. So what are you waiting for? Give me a call today at 262-448-4141. That's 448-4141. The website's kenoshains.com. One last time, that's 262-448-4141. Give them a call. Tell them D-Rita dtalks sent you. The worst that could happen is you will get the best rates. Now, with all that good stuff out of the way, dude, my throat is already feeling it. I'm not sick. I've got I don't know what it is, like a muscle issue in my throat right now. I woke up with it today. I couldn't lift my neck up. And once sitting to standing has been very difficult today. So I made it to the chair, and I'm in front of the microphone, so we're going to do it. But it is weird with speaking. You read the title. You guys saw what's on the agenda today. We've got some interesting things to get into. Had a little bit of a guest cancellation the last couple of weeks. Somebody canceled like a couple weeks ago for that date of last week, so then we filled that date, and then that person had things come up last minute, and then that same person rescheduled for this week and then had things come up yesterday. Well, for today, but told me yesterday at least. So, here we are. We're doing the thing. It's been a couple weeks where you've just been stuck with me, but hopefully you're getting some value out of it. Hopefully we're having some fun. And sometimes I like doing a solo episode. As much as I dread it, I get upset, when people cancel or just like if I had plans and specific things I wanted to get into with somebody, sometimes I get upset. I'm like, damn, man, I wanted to talk to that person, or I wanted to try these jokes with this person, or maybe steer a conversation that way and see what we could get into. And then when it doesn't happen, I definitely get down. But usually afterwards, when it comes to a solo episode, I feel pretty good. It's almost my journaling right here. I journal every morning, but this is kind of just a little extra thing for me to just word vomit into the universe, and sometimes you guys laugh, and other times I bomb miserably. But here we are. We're doing the thing. I don't know if you guys have heard, but this Chris Tyson thing going on with Mr. Beast has been all over my timeline. Now, most of my timeline recently when it comes to YouTube, because that's pretty much the only social media I use. I have all the other ones. I post a lot on all the other ones, but I don't really use them. I just post and I get off. Most of them even lock after 10 minutes, so I can't even use them if I wanted to. But it's been all over my timeline. If you guys don't know who Chris Tyson is, he's a Mr. Beast friend, basically. Was one of Mr. Beast's friends in a bunch of his videos, helping him with a bunch of challenges, just being around, being in a lot of the videos. I think he has his own YouTube channel as well, and his own content as well. But I could be wrong on that. But basically, Chris Tyson just recently came out as trans and explained that he has been undergoing HRT for 2 months, and so like just popped out at some award shows and whatnot, and has been some recent videos with Mr. Beast, and people are like, whoa, what's going on? There's a big difference in appearance, and people are having all these like, whoa, I didn't see this coming, whatever moment. And I think it's okay to be like, whoa, I didn't know that was what's going on, if you genuinely didn't know, right? But then it turned into this very weird thing where YouTubers, specifically one in particular, Sunny V2, and some other people online, made a bunch of videos claiming that this is going to hurt Mr. Beast's brand, and that it is making Mr. Beast himself uncomfortable. I'm going to break this down just to its simplest form for you real quick so you understand why this is so ridiculous. These YouTubers are saying that Mr. Beast's friend being himself is going to hurt Mr. Beast's brand. And they're saying, and in this guy's video, or I don't know if it was in this video or if it was all the comments, the reaction, but people are basically being like, I hate how people keep trying to force LGBTQ plus characters on us in mainstream media. Let's unpack that for a second. This is a real human being, right? Chris Tyson is a real person. And Chris Tyson, I believe, I'm not sure the exact terminology for it, but they are open to all pronouns. So I know I'm saying he, that's any one of them apparently is okay with them. But just in case, so I clear that up for people that might think I'm misgendering. I don't want you to think that. So one, this is a real person, not a character. Okay, this is not like a Disney is trying to force some agenda that you think. This is not that. This is a real human being decided to do this. And on top of that, this is Mr. Beast's channel. This is not mainstream media. This is not Disney. This is not CBS. This is not whatever. This is just a guy and one of his friends that do videos together. And so it got to the point where this guy, Sunny V2, made probably the worst YouTube video I've ever seen, and used all this dramatic editing and these weird cuts and added his own captions and like zoom ups to make things look more awkward, and added like his own captions like said so and so feels awkward, when I don't know if Sunny spoke to those people and got a report that they felt awkward in that moment. Basically, he took videos of Mr. Beast's from that Chris had recently been in and was trying to, with editing, make it look like Chris existing was making his friends and collaborators uncomfortable, and that this was going to tank the Mr. Beast brand. And so basically made a really bad video. People are, and it did sway, like a lot of people agreed with this really, really messed up take. But luckily more people, came to the defense of Chris and Mr. Beast. And Mr. Beast himself, actually, this is where things get wild. If you guys know, I mean, we've talked about Mr. Beast a lot on the channel. I mean, not like super in-depth stuff, right? But I've gotten into stuff he's been doing. We keep up with him. I'm a fan, a loose fan. I'm not like a diehard, but I appreciate what he does, and I think he's generally a very positive guy. Now, he had to respond to a tweet. So this is the Sunny V2 video. Claims the title of this video about his friend Chris is why Chris will soon be a nightmare for Mr. Beast. And then it's this super dramatic, like documentary style thing, like presenting these things as facts about how this is going to ruin Mr. Beast's brand. And Mr. Beast actually responded to this. Again, he doesn't really get into a lot of like controversies, I feel like. He said, yeah, this is, oh, see, look, I'm getting locked out of Twitter right now. He said, yeah, this is getting absurd. Chris isn't my nightmare, in quotes. He's my fucking friend, and things are all fine. All this transphobia is starting to piss me off. And, I mean, good on him for saying something, dude. And just, like that's his homie. I don't know why somebody just being themselves, like, really, really bothers you, Like, it's so weird. It was like the same thing like when JoJo Siwa came out as gay, and people were just like so mad. And this is like after, I don't even think she like had her show anymore. Like her kids show. She had like a children's show or something. I'm not super familiar with JoJo Siwa and the lore, so don't come at me if this is wrong. But it was like the same thing where it's like she's not even doing her show, like filming her regular show, and people are like mad that like corporations are trying to force this like gay shit on us. It's like, she's a human. She's gay. Like she's gay. Nobody's forcing her to do that. And then it's been the same thing with this Bud Light stuff where Bud Light's not a great beer anyways, right? Like it's not like a high quality beer. It's just like it's very popular. It's a cheap beer. Like Bud Light, Miller Lite, those are like kind of, they battle each other out, right? Coors, I think, is in there. Those are all like the cheap beers, right? These are huge, huge brands. Make billions of dollars a year. And they came out with like a gay can. Like one colorway that's like, yeah, we support everybody and their pronouns and all the LGBTQ plus. And people lost their minds. I saw a dude. It was a video that went viral on something. It was I think it was on TikTok, of this guy. This like, I don't want to make assumptions, but I bet I could guess who he voted for. Go in. He's like, we're not gonna stand for this no more, brother. And he's like, I'm gonna show y'all something right now. And he gets out of the truck and he walks into his like garage, and he's got a cooler in there, and he pulls out a fresh case, like a 24 pack of Bud Light, and he fucking like brings it outside and runs it over with his truck. He's like, none of that gay shit over here, but like, he didn't say that part, but like, I'm like, what does that prove? You already bought the Bud Light. It's like the same thing when people were like burning LeBron's jerseys, almost, when he went to Miami, and all these people, it's like, dude, you paid $100 for that jersey. If it's a real one, you're going to burn it because he left. Don't get me wrong. I would have been sad too if I was a Cleveland fan, but this is not the same thing. There's going to be regular cans. There's still regular cans. The cans that man had were regular. But he couldn't stand that Bud Light is okay with gay people and LGBTQ plus people existing. So he's like, nah, no way, brother. Can't do this. Not here. Not in this country. I just think it's crazy, dude. Like, what's the big deal? I just don't understand what the big deal is. I don't understand how somebody... I know it's such like a cliche. I feel like I've said it like 3 times already, but people just existing bothers you. And you got to think about it from the perspective of we live in a capitalist society here in the United States. And a lot of these same people that are upset about this probably champion a lot of the values of capitalism, right? Now, if you champion those values, why wouldn't companies want to sell to more people or to appeal to more people, right? If these people exist, which they do, whether or not you are mad about it, doesn't not make them exist, right? Same thing with like, I know people get into this whole thing with, it feels like more people are gay or LGBTQ plus or trans or whatever now, and it's like, well, it's because like if they were 30, 40 years ago, they were at like way higher risk of like death. I mean, there's still plenty of risk with death and all these other things, and being ostracized and treated poorly, right? But like 40, 50 years ago, yeah, maybe sure they would stay in the closet because they didn't want to be like stoned, like just totally outcast by society, and there was no one for them to connect with because there wasn't the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like people try to do this thing where it's like, if we look back on history, there used to be no lefties either. There used to be like less than 1% left-handed people because it was like I forget where it stemmed from, if it was religious or what, but basically we believed as a society that left-handedness was innately evil and that there was some witchcraft at play. And so people that were left-handed would be killed. So, yeah, we realize that that's stupid. And so, yeah, now there's more left-handed people because it's acceptable. So it's not that I don't think, like, the percentage doesn't change. Like, the percentage is just more accurately what it probably should be. And this is another thing. I don't know if I just tangented there, if I even made sense. But I'm from a smaller town, a more rural area, right? And I have people in my life that maybe don't get everything when it comes to this kind of things. And there's a lot to be had, right? If you come from a place that you're not exposed to a lot of this stuff, it might be a lot of information to take in, and maybe it's not affecting you in your day-to-day life. So you just see one headline and you're like, whoa, shock value, and you move on with your day because you don't have anybody in your life that relates to these things or is affected by these things. And I've had people in my life say things about whether it's the Bud Light stuff, the Chris Tyson thing, just LGBTQ people in general, people being like, oh, I don't care if, they do whatever they want to do. Just I don't think it should be in schools. I don't think they should know what trans people are or what, I don't. And I'll say these things, and I had to explain this to some people last week. There is nobody, or I guess I'll break it down like this. There is no amount of gay porn, right? I'm not talking about you just tell me that gay people exist, right? I'm telling you, me and you right now, assuming that maybe you're also straight, right? There is no amount of time of brainwashing. You could strap me into a chair, make me unable to move my neck. I can't even look away from the screen, and a giant projector, all close-up gay porn. There's no amount of that's going to make me gay because I'm not gay. It's like people think that if you show a person somebody being gay or or you tell them that trans people are real, that's going to turn somebody that isn't to that. No, it's just going to make people that maybe have feelings that maybe they are, or that have that inside them, they're going to understand that, oh, this is normal. They're not going to be living this terrible life and existence in conflict because they think whatever they feel or whatever they truly are is as themselves is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it like this. Every movie up until was it 4 years ago, the first I'm sure there was some low-budget indie flicks that I never saw, but it was a big deal when Star Wars had two women kiss at the end of the new one. And it was on the screen for 1 second. It got cut out in other countries. That didn't even air in other countries. So how many years, hundreds of years of cinema, of media, did gay people watch straight people make out, have sex, have relationships, whatever, and them still be gay? A lot. So maybe they just actually are. You get what I'm saying? There's no amount. I get this thing where they're like, well, what if they show kids? They shouldn't be showing kids this. I don't think it's right. I think it's fine. Do whatever you want, but they can't show kids. What do you mean they can't show kids? Or what? Or what? What are you saying? What are you afraid of? And a lot of times they won't say the quiet part out loud. But it's just you don't get it, and you're afraid for whatever reason, or you're transphobic, or it's bigotry, and whether or not it comes in a polite fashion or they're trying to really downplay that's what it is at the end of the day. Because if you really break it down, there's nothing. It's not going to stop anybody from being straight who is straight. A kid or a young adult or any person of any age, because these are grown-up adults here crying about the Bud Light thing, right? Bud Light, that's not advertised to kids. That's advertised to adults. okay? And also the people crying about it, you guys have definitely amplified this marketing campaign. So whoever over there at Bud Light Marketing is getting a raise because they've probably done infinitely more impressions across all social media platforms, news networks, and everything than they normally do or would have with any other campaign. So, the whole being a snowflake about it, freaking out that like these people exist, isn't really helping you to stop the the brand's awareness. Like you making a viral video running over a 24-pack of Bud Light with your truck and that getting 6 million views didn't hurt Bud Light, right? That definitely just got Bud Light in front of 6 million more people. And some of those people, quite a few of them, I hope, were making fun of you. And maybe now instead of the $3 Coors Light, they're going to buy the Bud Light because they thought that was funny. I just think it's silly, dude. I just think it's silly. Like I don't know. I really just try to put myself in other people's shoes especially when it comes to stuff like this. And I came from, again, a small town where people, aren't exposed to all this stuff, and I wasn't exposed to a lot of different ways of living, of thinking, of people presenting themselves, and so I try to come at it with empathy when people have maybe some problematic views. But I'm trying to break it down and like see how they can even perceive it as that. But it's like, if you think about it for just a second, man, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. I feel really bad for the Chris Tyson situation, for Chris Tyson and Mr. Beast, because they both seem like very nice people. They're friends, and people are trying to make them to not be friends just because of this. I think that's weird. And again, I guess I'll just bring it back to this one more time so I can reiterate it. And if I have to cut it up into a clip or something, it makes sense. There's no amount of seeing somebody kiss somebody or exist. Like if you just say, hey, this is Darren, he's straight, or showing me straight heterosexual families, that's going to make a gay person straight. They're going to still be gay, and vice versa, right? There's no amount of gay porn that I could watch that I'm going to be like, yes, I'm into dudes now. It's not going to happen. So I don't know. Don't stop being weird about it, man. Let people exist. Let people just live their life. And guess what? If it hurts you that bad, you're going to cry about it that much that this can has a rainbow on it, then go buy Coors Light, I guess, bro. Go buy Coors. I think Bud Light's going to do just fine because of this marketing campaign and because of your snowflake tears. Because of those, I think they're going to do okay, because it's definitely blown up way more than it should have. I just think it's weird, man. I don't really care about it. It's stupid that we even have to talk about it, to be honest with you. I think people should just be who they are and be happy, and we should just be happy that they're happy. Like, every time you bring it up, people are like, oh, I don't want them to show it in schools. And then if you break it down how I just broke it down, like, what are they thinking? You think we're going to show them actual gay porn in school? No, they're just going to be like, hey, like, some people are like this and some people are not. And I don't even know if they do that. But if they did, I don't see a problem. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. But on to some silly stuff, right? Drake dropped a new song. Except for he didn't drop a new song. Well, he did a couple weeks ago. The one with the sampled Kim K in it or whatever. But this just came out. This I want to show you guys here is an AI created song. So it's not created by AI, created with AI. So a person went in, this guy named Ghostwriter something, I'm going to pull it up here in a second, created his own Drake and Weeknd song using AI. So basically using an AI filter, so a model that's trained on Drake's voice and the Weeknd's voice, and then he sings parts of it, as well as they have this celebrity like talk to text things and using that in combination, basically using those in tandem, and then making a beat. He also threw the Metro made this beat, or somebody made this beat on it, which again they did not. Threw a bunch of stuff together, made a song that sounds like it could be a Drake song, and I'm not gonna lie, it's actually, it sounds pretty legit. It sounds pretty legit. Sue's gonna get sued for sure. For sure. I think because he put it on streaming services under like his name. So I'm pretty sure you're gonna get sued. But I mean, hey, I'll show you guys. You guys tell me what you guys think of this. If it sounds like Drake or not. There's like 10 million views on this video. Young Metro. She know what she need, all I need, all she blessed, giving my best, yeah, I got my heart on my sleeve with a knife in my back. Yeah, so that's Drake's part. Let's see. There's a couple part when he said Bieber, it sounded a little funky. You could kind of hear that was maybe a little messed up. This is the part that's the Weeknd, or supposed to be the Weeknd, kind of sounds a little bit like Drake's too. It sounds a little off, so. I think this is supposed to be the Weeknd. And it sounds like Drake's though. Oh, this is the Weeknd. That's pretty good, actually. That did actually kind of sound like him. And they're referencing Selena Gomez quite a bit too, so it kind of sounded like, basically, I didn't know it was an AI thing. I thought it was just like a Drake leak, because I get a lot of Drake leaks on my TikTok because I'm a big Drake fan. So if a new leak comes out, I don't support stealing people's music, right, and leaks. I'm not saying I support that, but if it just shows up on my For You page, I'll listen for a second or the whole snippet and save it. No, I'm just kidding. But so it's interesting, man, and I don't know what you guys think or if you guys even care, but it's kind of crazy. Like we were joking about AI earlier this year, and it feels like every week there's like some new stuff. Like new crazy advancements. Like this is a partial filter. So that's so different than when we did the Kanye West apology with ChatGPT, and then I stuck that through a Kanye West like speaking thing. This is me, and for those of you who make music, like maybe there's a thing as like live auto-tune, right? So if I'm recording a track, I can hear the auto-tune in real time as I sing, right? So it's like as I'm singing, it's correcting it in real time, right? Otherwise, you can record something and then edit it after. This is like, dude, it's literally a voice changer, basically, that's trained with artificial intelligence and on all these different, basically, if you took Drake's whole catalog and shoved it into this AI algorithm and we're like, okay, learn all the subtleties of his voice and the different registers that he sings in and how he sings different vowel sounds and consonants and all this stuff. And then I would be able to sing and then in real time hear myself as Drake. Drake feature is about to be, $10 now. That's why I keep seeing people comment like, oh, Drake feature about to only be $100. Drake feature is about to only be $50 now. Kind of crazy. That's what like music is getting to. Drake has not said anything about that one. Someone did a Drake singing, Drake AI singing Ice Spice. Which song was it? I think it was Boy's a Liar. And he posted that on his story and was like, this is too far. He said enough is enough AI or something like that. And I thought that was funny. But he hasn't said anything about that one, which leads me to think that dude's getting sued. So I hope you don't get sued. I mean, like, I hope you don't like lose everything, but probably have to figure something out with Aubrey and his team. I don't think you can just do that. I don't think you can just do that. If you can, music's about to get crazy, and that's what a lot of people were commenting. Like, dude, this is gonna be illegal in a couple of years, and this is gonna be like the case is gonna be like Ghostwriter versus Drake is gonna be like the law, and so it's kind of interesting. But I don't know. Maybe you guys, if you want, if any of my my fans or my supporters out there that listen to the podcast, if you guys want to, because you could probably do it very easily with my voice. Not maybe a song, but how they do like Joe Biden and Donald Trump will be like debating some random shit, or they'll be in like Discord with Drake and Ice Spice, or Joe Rogan or something. People that have like a lot of audio of them in interviews and just regularly speaking, right? It's really easy, I guess, or not really easy, but easier to train these AIs on a specific person's voice, and then based on the more data you have. And for me, you got 198 episodes of me talking into a microphone, so you take all those, you shove that in, whatever AI you got to, you could have me saying some wild things. I think that would be really funny. I think it would be really fun. It would be fun to do some sort of competition almost, where like maybe even if it's like at my expense, people making fun of me, try to make like a minute clip of something dumb that sounds like something I would say, but maybe it's just like a little bit more fucked up or something. I don't know. I don't get me AI canceled, but something fun. I think that would be interesting. The AI stuff is just kind of crazy now. Before we went live, McKenna shows me this video of some dude. I guess this just happened on Monday. Some dude killed his wife. Okay? Trigger warning. Killing wives. I think you're supposed to do it before you say it. Okay, man. Whatever. This dude murdered his wife. And some clips came up once they figured out, the last name seemed familiar of this dude. Some clips came out of this guy was on Family Feud. Like what, 5-6 years ago? A while ago. I guess Family Feud's still on, so I was going to make a joke about back when Family Feud was on the air, but I guess it's still on. And he said to Steve Harvey some pretty sus stuff. You sent me this? Or is it on yours? I was going to say, yeah, you can send it to me. But yeah, basically, my man's, he was telling on himself years and years earlier. And this is not funny and like, haha, like this person was just killed. Like that is very sad.
Do you want me to text it to you?
You can just send it to me. Will you send it me on there, on TikTok?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll just pull it up. It's not funny like, haha, like somebody died. Okay, that's not funny. But this is fucking, it's a little crazy that this dude said this, and then years later, which was last week or whatever, 5 days ago or something, this comes out. So I'm going to pull this up here. He's asked, on Family Feud, what's the biggest mistake you made at your wedding? Okay? And this is the guy's answer, who eventually went on to murder his wife.
Honey, I love you, but said I do. Not my mistake. I love my wife. I'm going to get in trouble for that, aren't I? Yeah.
So he said, in case you couldn't really hear, it was a little muffled. He said that his biggest mistake on his wedding night was saying I do. And then he tried to cover up. Oh, I'm going to get in trouble for that. Oh, I love my wife. That's kind of crazy, dog. Why he even do it in the first place? Why didn't he just get divorced with her then? Was he plotting it back then on Family Feud? Is Steve Harvey involved? I'm just kidding. That part was too far.
Steve Harvey didn't even make a face.
Steve Harvey was like, he was like, I'm not reacting to that guy. But yeah, just pretty weird stuff going on in the world. I think I mentioned last week to you guys that I've been injured recently. Had a issue with my quad muscle. It was partially torn, bad pull, and I was pretty down about it. I don't think I got into it fully on the show about how down I was. I'm feeling a little bit better now. I I was able to run around a little bit yesterday and compete in some hoops. Still not at 100%. Still not getting to do the things that I have come to expect with my body. And I thought, I'd bring that up because I know a lot of athletes deal with similar issues where if you're an athlete, if you've competed most of your life, or if you competed at a high level, or maybe it's important, maybe it's not the most important thing in your life, but it's what your life revolves around, right? Maybe you're a high school athlete. So, most of your after school activities are just that. You're going to practices, going to pasta dinners, team nights, and then games, tournaments, things like that. It becomes a part of your identity. And when you get hurt, when you get taken out or you're not able to do that anymore for an extended period of time, it starts to weigh on you. I know for myself, it has. I'm not someone who's been injured a lot. I was injured once when I was in high school. I had a tear in my meniscus, and I know that was probably one of the worst times of my life. I feel like I keep topping it, though, if I'm being honest. I do keep finding a way to just jam a little bit more trauma in every couple months. But that was really tough. And the same thing, so then recently with this tear, it way nicer in that it's like not a full rupture or like total tear where I need a surgery or anything like that. But it's like been a month, maybe. Am I right? It's been about a month of dealing with it, almost 3.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, or maybe about 3 weeks, maybe almost a month. And but like, a week of not being able to walk, a week of limping, and then a week of being able to walk and not being able to do the things you love and form your identity around, messes you up. And I'll say personally, as somebody who played college basketball and was in athletics, majority of their life still is playing their sport and training whenever they can. The worst part of the recovery process for me, I'm not saying this for everybody, is not the initial get injured part. Because when that happens, for me, in that moment at least, again, I've only been injured seriously injured a couple of times. When you get the moment of injury, you're kind of like, you don't know, because you have adrenaline and all these things, you don't know like how bad it is. Okay, like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to stop. Like maybe this will be a couple day thing, and I'll be back on my feet. That doesn't suck. Or it does suck, but not as much, right? Then I'd say that the thing that sucks, maybe second worst, is that next phase where you kind of realize like, oh man, this is gonna be a while. I'm in it for a long run here for the recovery. That part sucks because you have this whole long journey ahead of you, but it's not the worst in my opinion. The worst part is when you appear fine, where you can do normal, everyday functions. The everyday average person who doesn't train or doesn't, work out crazy, or isn't playing a sport, you can do all that, right? You could go to the mall, walk around. You can go to a family event. You can go shopping, and you look fine. You're walking around fine. You can carry something light. Like you're not like nothing looks to be a matter. But like there's just this thing in the back of your head reminding you like you didn't train today. You can't if you wanted to, if you wanted to, you could not get around that defender. Your body would not let you. Like you cannot compete at the level you want to. You can't do the things that you've come to know yourself to be able to do. And that part sucked. And that's where I was the last like week and a half, where I look fine. I'm not like, if I'm not carrying anything super heavy or I wasn't squatting or something, like I pretty much had normal function, but my leg just did not fully work, and still doesn't fully work. And that's just been really, really hard to accept, especially when, like I said, a lot of my personality, I feel like, is wrapped up in competitive sports, which is something that in getting injured right now at 24, right, because I've been injured in the past, but getting it now at 24 is making me realize, like, man, I got to work on quite a bit up here, because I can't. You don't get to play forever. You don't get to play forever, and you don't get to play at a super high level forever. I'm not saying I'm old, right? But I'm 24. I don't know how long I'll get to play, right? I got to have some other things to look forward to, because while I was out, I wanted to do nothing else. I talked about it last week, I rewatched The Last Dance documentary, which I'd already seen once. I watched the Kobe one with the Redeem Team. This is how down bad I was, okay? I re-downloaded. I went into my PlayStation purchased games and found the most recent 2K I had bought, which was 2K17. It's 2023 right now as I'm recording this. Okay, that's 6 years. 2K doesn't get much better year to year, but in 6 years, you feel the difference. You feel the difference. You see the difference. I re-downloaded 2K17, and I didn't even do a My Career. I didn't even make a My Player. I straight up just created a player, made him as good as I wanted him to be, and fucking did a My League. It just started playing, because I was like, I don't have time for all this shit. I just want to play now. And yeah, dude, that's how down bad I was. And I don't know. I don't know how you're supposed to handle things as an athlete. I think maybe having other interests, and I do this. I've got this media stuff, and I've got the music, and I realized that those things I am still as passionate about, as I am with sports, but there's something about just competing and trying to win, and playing the sport that I've devoted most of my life to, that kind of takes me away from all the stress of even those things. Because creating videos is awesome. It's fun. It's a creative, artsy outlet. Same with music. But everything is so subjective, and as I want it to be sort of my career focus is that, a lot of what I hope to do financially in my future is wrapped up in those things. It's a lot of work sometimes. I'm editing clips like 2, 3, 4 hours a day sometimes for TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Instagram. And sometimes I just need an outlet from that. And I've realized that sports, I've really been leaning heavily on sports for that. And I think that's what this time being injured has showed me, is that maybe I need to get some more balance, because I literally there was no reason for me to even, I didn't even want to just wake up. I was asleep in bed, and I was like, man, I might as well just stay sleeping, because I know I can't go shoot hoops. I know I can't go lift. And I know it sounds stupid maybe to somebody who doesn't, if fitness isn't, a big part of your life, or if a sport has never been a big part of your life. But for me, having something so finite as a game, right? A game of basketball where I'm just trying to score more points than the other team. Having something like that, and there's stressful moments, there's stresses within a game, but having something like that you can just focus on, where it's just about this thing that's going to start, have a middle and an end, and then be done. There's something just so pure and surreal about it, where it just pulls you out of everything else that's dragging you down. And so it's been really hard for me to handle all the other stresses without that. So if you are an athlete listening and you're out with an injury, or you've been out with an injury, what are you doing? What are you doing to keep your head up, or what have you done to keep your head up? And if you're struggling with it, Find those other parts of your personality. This is a great time to sort of get into those other aspects of life, maybe, that aside from competing, aside from playing basketball. And that's what I tried to do. I obsessed pretty heavily over all basketball media and even got back into the NBA, like I said last week. And but on top of that, I tried to take some time to just do music and just get some editing done and talk to some friends. I even went to a movie with a friend of mine, and I don't get to see quite often. And try to find the other things that make you you, because as much as the sport is important to you, and it does in a lot of ways make up your personality, or your identity, I should say, not your personality. There's more to you than the sport. You play it; it doesn't play you. So, try to stay positive. If I even made any sense, I don't think I did. R.I.P. to the leg. Yeah, it's been tough. What are you supposed to do? You ever been out with an injury?
Me?
Yeah. No, you never been like out. No, you've been injured, but never out.
I'm just like
Rolled ankles and okay. Yeah.
I don't think I ever missed a game.
Wow, that's nice. My not co-host, my producer here says never missed a game, so kind of flexing on us injured folk. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to not to bum you guys out. We looked up what a jabroni was before we went live. I guess we'll end on a positive note. What was a jabroni? A loser. A stupid, good-for-nothing loser. Foolish loser. Yeah. A stupid, foolish loser. That's what a jabroni means. Don't be a jabroni. Stretch so you don't get hurt. Active warm-ups. And play hard. Play hard, because I'll tell you what, that has also been something super frustrating, where I'm not like cleared to play, right, fully, but I'm in a league right now, and I'm an important figure on my team, and so I need to play. Okay, maybe not the most responsible thing to do, but I'm playing, and I cannot tell you how much I am like, I have these moments where I'm so upset that I can't play as hard as I want to play. So play hard. If you're able-bodied right now, play as hard as you can, because there's people that can't, and they're very jealous of you, and they're bitter about it. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's all I got for today's episode. I don't want to drag on super long. I had the guest cancellation. We've got a cool. I've got an artist coming on next week, assuming we don't get another cancellation. And if we do, I was gonna say I would do something bad, but then I get nervous that we will, because it's just been that kind of month lately. But yeah, so we got a really good guest for you guys, and the 200th episode is coming up, and I finally know what I'm doing for that. Not gonna tell you, but I finally know what I'm doing for that. It's gonna be fun. And that's it, guys. That's the 198th episode of the dtalks podcast. I want to say a quick shout out and thank you to Kenosha Auto Insurance for sponsoring this episode. They've been sponsoring us for a fat minute, so I just want to say thank you to them, as well as a thank you to our patrons. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. If you guys are interested in getting behind-the-scenes access to like the hooping vlogs I do, the wrestling videos, any of that kind of stuff, as well as a series where I break down how I mix, master, and write every single one of my songs, and extra podcasts, go to patreon.com/Darren Rita, and you can help support the channel for as little as $1. With all that being said, this has been the 198th episode of the dtalks podcast, and I will see you guys next week. Peace.